If you're ready to gain clarity, align with God's calling, and activate the habits that accelerate real growth in your life, you're in the right spot. This is the Worthy Woman Podcast. My name is Amy Ramsey. I'm a Jesus follower, a certified high performance coach, and a life and leadership strategist. This is where you'll come to for real life coaching, strategies, and tools, all delivered through a Bible-based and science-backed approach to help you walk worthy of that calling that's inside of you and make the impact that God designed you to carry. Let's go straight to the episode. Did you know that most people do not achieve their goals in general? And one of the biggest reasons is actually a lack of accountability. One statistic states that you can increase your chance of achieving a goal by, listen to this, 95% when you have specific, ongoing accountability. That's crazy. But you know, in my own life, when I have accountability, I've hired a coach for myself. I show up. I take, I not only do I show up, but I become a machine. Listen, if you've been feeling stuck or scattered or inconsistent or like, you know, you're capable of more, but you're just not following through, this podcast is for you. This conversation I'm sharing with you today is with my friend and my client, Frannie Foltz, and her results inside of my 90-day Accelerate Her coaching container. We hopped on Zoom to do a video recording, but it was such a beautiful, rich conversation. So many beautiful nuggets came out of her mouth. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This is inspirational. Let's just share it with everybody. There was she shared a framework. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. You're going to love it so much. So in this episode, you're going to hear us talk about what happens when your mindset shifts and how clarity and structure create real follow through, and why community matters, why it's so important, especially in entrepreneurship or leadership, and how to stop second guessing yourself and actually move forward in faith and action. So this episode is for you if you know you're called for more and you're tired of doing it alone, or maybe you just feel completely overwhelmed and you want growth, but you know you need focus. You know you want to stop procrastinating, stop overthinking, and start becoming the woman who follows through. By the end of this conversation, you're going to walk away with a deeper understanding of why accountability changes everything, and how to simplify what feels overwhelming, and how to focus on what matters most, and why investing in your growth can unlock your next level. Before we pop into that interview, I'm just going to go ahead, like straight from the chute, invite you into my next round of Accelerate Her 90-day coaching container. As we are shifting and moving out of Q1 and heading into Q2, if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for the systems and the strategy, and you want to become the woman that follows through, you're going to want to join the 90-day Accelerate Her program. The ladies in there are moving forward. Before we jump into this podcast and hear this interview, I have something really exciting coming up, which is the Align Activate Masterclass. I'm hosting a free masterclass where we're going to work through strategy for you for Q2. If you want to become the woman that follows through, if you want to learn the framework that you need, that successful people have to move forward, I'm going to be breaking that down inside of that masterclass. Seats are limited and they're free. So you can go to amyramsey.com/masterclass and join us and grab your seat. And I'll also put that link below in the show notes. All right, without any further ado, let's jump right into this interview conversation, basically, with my friend, Frannie Foltz. Okay, Frannie, welcome. Super glad to have you.
So glad to be here as always.
We are less than 2 weeks away from the summit. When you sent yesterday, it's 2 weeks away. I swear to you, I didn't know it was 2 weeks away, and I didn't know it was Thursday. It's Thursday already, and we're 2 weeks away. So in 2 weeks, I'm so excited that you are gonna be a speaker for the Worthy Woman Summit.
It's such an honor. I mean, truly, it is a full circle moment for me. So I'm super excited.
So, what would you say to somebody who's been feeling that nudge, even if they need to travel?
Yeah.
What would you say to that person who's been feeling that nudge, but they're like, I don't know, I'm busy. I don't know if I have time. I don't really want to spend money on myself. I don't know if I can afford it. What would you say to her?
I would ask her this question. What is the best thing that could happen?
Mm,
Get your mind primed and ready because I'm expectant, Amy, of
yeah,
this event being a life-changing event. Because
it is.
I've been literally, you and I have been talking about this since what, December? Like we've
Wow.
been in conversation about it. I'm like, Lord, this is going to be so good. Like, this is going to be so good. And when I come expectant, guess what? God's going to show up. Like, the miracle's already in motion.
Yeah.
Like, we go and we have no problem, spending. I mean, I have friends who are like, oh, well, we're paying for my kids' soccer this summer. But what about you? Like, you have to have your cup full. And so I say that to that woman out there, like today, like, invest in you. You're going to be a better mama. You're going to be a better everything for everyone. I actually posted, it was a Worthy Woman Summit story that I did weeks ago. And I said, okay, what happens when you make a renovation in your house? You do a new kitchen remodel, you do a new bathroom remodel, or whatever, right? Everybody in your house gets to enjoy that beautiful, renovation. But guess what? Your neighborhood also, their houses go up when you put that new pool in. The
Yeah.
price of everything in your neighborhood goes up. So the same thing happens with you. When you do a renovation in you,
Yeah.
and this is all about high value women, it's going to increase and impact every single one of your spheres of influence when you walk away.
Talking about elevated women. I saw this quote. You've probably seen it before. I had saved it to actually just repost it. It says, be her, the woman who knows the grass is greener wherever she stands because she brings value to every space she enters.
Amen.
And I love that when we understand our worthiness, our inherent worth and value, that as believers, we literally touch heaven. We bring the kingdom of heaven into every sphere that we walk into. It's really powerful. And to put yourself in that room to where you're with women that want kingdom impact. You're with women who understand that they have a mission to go forth and a legacy to leave and an impact that only they can create. And we need those reminders. We need iron sharpens iron, and we get to level each other up. So, super excited about that.
Yeah. Well, and I was actually just talking to someone the other day and I said, look, like I feel like beyond a mission right now. I just feel like the Lord literally has commissioned, right? He says it, the Great Commission. But
Mm,
I just really feel like the Lord is commissioned, like, go, like it's an instruction. It's like, it's
instruction.
not just like I'm on a mission, right? Like, yes, that's important to have a mission, but that usually kind of is like, there's usually a mission. And once it's accomplished, like you get another one. It's like, no, like you are co-missioned, like you're doing this in
That's
partnership.
so
And so
good.
and I just really feel like that's where the Lord really wants us now. And like you and I partnering together, over the last several months of us partnering together, I just feel like you and I are taking our missions and we're commissioned, right? We're
I
literally
love that.
co-joined. And so we're just really commissioned to go out and like help. Like I'm helping yours, you're helping mine. Like and I always love to. I always used to have a round table in my dining room because I was like, look, there's no one who's at the head of the table. Like we're all together.
I love
Like
that.
your mission is no more important than my mission. Like we are in this together because our number one mission is to bring him glory. And then
Come
each
on.
of us have an assignment, right? And each of us have a gifting and a calling, right? To walk worthy of that. There's no competition because it's like,
None.
I can't do what you can do and you can't do what I can do. And I'm okay with that.
Well, you know what? I love even too just the thought of there's no competition, only commission. I mean, when you think about the global response that we have as believers to move forward, right?
Yep.
And then the individual response of I'm I've been gifted with these unique sets of life's experiences, giftings, callings, right? And assignments. So we're all called to go, and
Yep.
then we have individual assignments that God
Exactly.
speaks to us. So that's really good that it's not about competition, but commission. That really resonates with me. Thank you for sharing that. Rich girlfriend, rich. Okay.
Where that came from, where that came from.
That's right. That's right. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. So, Franny, before we started working together, what was the biggest thing that you were struggling with, and where was the breakdown happening?
Yeah. I think, before working with you, I would have been working with another coach and he was great. He was, younger guy, but you and I had a conversation and you were like so direct and it was iron sharpening iron and there's going to be sparks, right? When you're coming as if you're a blacksmith, there's going to be sparks. And I was like, and it was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
This previous coach, he was so sweet, but he was like, too kind about it, right? Like you saw in me what I was capable of and you saw in me my potential and you're like, get it together, get your CEO mindset because that's who you are. You know what I mean? Like, because it really like came in, it was that come to Jesus meeting that I needed to hear. And I'm that kind of coach with other people. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not for everybody, but that's what I needed in that moment. And even though it was hard, I was like, she's so right. You know what I mean? And so I think for me, it started with the mindset. And once I was like kind of redirected, it was like, oh, of course. Like, yeah, like, and I think to your credit, that weekend, actually, Amy, that weekend, I think I may have shared this with you. You and I had the conversation like on a Thursday or Friday. And then that Saturday, I had gone out with friends on Friday night and I was using a cute purse. And then Saturday, I was going out to do street evangelism.
Yeah.
And I didn't change out my purses, Amy. So that means I left my credit card, my money, everything was in the other purse.
Oh,
Now I'm
no.
45 minutes away from home and I need to get gas. And I'm driving another hour and a half further north to go visit a friend in the beach. And I was like, no, I started to panic and I was like, and it was starting to break down. And I was like, I'm gonna have to go all the way back home. Like I started envisioning worst case scenario. And I was like, no, shut up, girl. Like you are a CEO. Like, what are your resources? How? And I was like, so I go inside and I see this guy walking in the door. I'm like, by chance, do you have Venmo? Can I give you 20? If I send you $20, can you give me $20? Like, I was like, how can I be resourceful? Like, figure
I
this
love
out.
that.
Walked in and I said to the guy, I'm like, the guy thought I was a crackhead. Like, as I was walking in, he thought I was going to like ask for money for literally to go buy drugs or something. Like, no, like, I'm giving you money just through Venmo. Like, I don't have money on me. And so I go in and I said to the guy, like, can I use pay or whatever, not pay, but Apple Pay? And I was like, oh gosh, I don't have a credit card. How do I set it up? And I was like, oh, I have pictures of my credit card on my phone. Ah! And I was like, and all of a sudden I was like, look at me, I'm a boss.
Yes, you
But that happened to be like the next day after you and I
are.
had that
Yeah.
conversation. Whereas the other, like literally that day before, I probably would have called my friend and said, I can't come meet you. I don't have gas. So
That's
it was,
incredible.
it was like perfectly timed. And God was like, show up.
Yeah.
And I
That's
was like,
incredible. Such a beautiful
yeah,
picture of just how quickly things can shift, how
for
quickly
sure.
things can turn around when somebody sees the best in you. And
Yeah.
that's what a coach is. And you're a coach. So that's what a coach is that we're called to champion
Yeah.
you to your next level, but also challenge
Yeah.
you to that next level because you can't get to that next level with the same mindsets that you have now. You just can't ever. And there's
Right.
always another level. There's always
Right.
a next level, right?
Exactly. Well, and Jesus says glory to glory. So,
That's right.
to go to the next level, because some people are like, well, when do you get to the point where you're not? And I'm like, have you ever read Philippians 1:6? Like, you're gonna be perfected until the day Jesus comes. Like, every single day is a new opportunity to, like, get better, more like, if you think you're like Jesus, you got some work to do on that, okay? You know
That's
what
right.
I mean?
That's right.
But,
That's
like,
right. Yeah. Yeah.
every single day you have an opportunity. So I think for us, like you said, we should be constantly championing and challenging each other because it's not just you can't have one without the other, right?
That's right.
It's
That's
kinda like
right.
you can't have light without dark or joy without sadness. You
Yeah.
can't have someone who's gonna champion you, but they're not gonna be the person who's gonna help you rise up. They're gonna be the person who's gonna cheer you on, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. So good. So good. So good. Okay. What made you decide to join me in the Accelerate Her group coaching program?
So I just knew that I needed community and I love my friends. I have a
Mhm.
solid sisterhood, but they're not where we are. Like they're not entrepreneurs like that. And many of
Yeah.
my friends, I'm a former teacher. And so even like my friends, they're like, well, why don't you just go back to teaching? Like sometimes when things are hard, and they are, Amy, right? Like they are, there are many times where I've been in seasons where I'm like, I don't know where the paycheck was coming from. And then the Lord is like, nope, like I got you covered. And so I feel like having another sisterhood of people who are like, girl, we got you. You know what I mean? Like we're there for you. We get it. We've been there. And I knew that I needed that. And I also knew I needed to be around other people who were I'm over here on the back roads, but like they're going on the Autobahn. Like I want the Autobahn. And so, girl, I go fast. I talk fast. I walk fast. I do all things fast, except
Yeah.
for I don't really like to fast, but mm, so but the Lord calls you to
You don't
that.
like to deny your flesh, Franny?
Oh, girl, I'm like, "Jesus, why does this have to be so hard?"
I
But
know,
you
I
know, it's
know.
so good for us when we do it, more of
Yeah,
him, less of
yeah,
us. But I say that just because I knew that I needed a sisterhood. I knew I needed someone who was, walking ahead of where I wanted to go. And obviously, you are a trailblazer for so many of us and such a huge blessing to be able to show us what's possible, how to get there, creating the systems, putting the pieces in play and in place to say, okay, this is where we're going next. Like, this is what the, quarter looks like. This is what the month looks like, and really helping us break it down in a very tangible way so it's not overwhelming. I still get overwhelmed because life, right? Like,
yes,
and so, but coming back to like center of like you seeing us and saying, like, okay, Franny, you've got X, Y, and Z going on. Like, what's the main priority? Like, what's the one thing today?
yeah,
And so when you're in that headspace by yourself, you wallow in it,
yeah.
you can let yourself go to that dark place. And I've been there. And so I feel like it was hugely helpful for me to one, have someone who's already where I want to be. And then two, have a sisterhood to be able to be like, girl, we got you.
That's right. That's right. That's so good. That's so good. Especially in the space of entrepreneurship. Let's just speak to that for just a moment.
Yeah.
It can be a very lonely road. Very lonely. People don't, if they're like you said, your friends that you love so much, your teacher friends,
Right.
they have their job, they have a lot of work to do after and all of that. However, it's hard to understand the inner workings behind an entrepreneur and especially in the online space.
100%.
So much, right? Like I don't have to tell that to you. You
Mhm,
get it.
mhm.
But it's nice to be in rooms where people get that part and we're able to say, yeah, bring it back to the Lord, that
Yeah.
spiritual alignment, but how do we conquer productivity
Mhm.
with the focus on the priorities? What are the main priorities? Because I read somewhere that there's always 40 hours worth of work that's undone. And
Mm.
if
That's
we could just wrap our brains around the fact we're not going to get it all done, like it's just not going to happen. However, me living a life that's filled with joy, that's of service to, and I'm keeping my health in check and I'm moving my business forward, I got to get really laser focused on
yeah.
these activities because these are my money making activities. So I,
Amen.
I think to your point, just having a group of women who are moving forward in their purpose, moving
Yeah.
forward in their businesses. It is iron sharpened. Y'all sharpen me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And like it goes back to what we said earlier. Like we're all at this round table. Like
Yeah.
no one of us is at a head of a table. Yes, you might be ahead of where I want to be in terms of, your progression, but there might be other areas of my life where you might look to me and say, hey, Franny, can you help me with this or whatnot? Because we have these amazing experiences that we come together, and that's what harmony is. That's what, Jesus created us for. He's like, look, there's this whole body of the church and you've got a hand, you've got a foot, you've got, all these different parts that they need to work together,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know I joke around with my nephew and I always, he's 16 now. And I said, honey, try walking without moving your arms. It's really weird. You look like a fool when you walk without moving your arms, And I'm like, because your arms and your legs have to work in tandem. I'm like, that's the same thing with God. Like he wants other parts of your body, the body to move with you. Try walking without moving your hands.
So funny.
And I do want to share with you one other thing too, because I think that it's not even just your friends too, like my family, like I'm the only girl. I've got an immigrant mother. I love my heritage of being Italian and everything. But my mom, when people will ask my mom, because when you say teacher, everyone knows what a teacher is. When my mom tells her friends, like, oh, well, what is Franny doing now? And mom's like, I don't really know. She talks on her phone and like on video screens. Yeah. I'm like, and like, even with my brothers, like, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, we think she's kind of like, so they really don't know, like, unless you're in it. I know you didn't ask me about the summit yet, but I'm so excited for that part because I know that I'm going to be able to glean so much information from the
Yes.
women who are there to be able to be like, how do you do this? What is your system for this? It's great if I'm hopping on a Zoom call with people, but I want to see people. Like God
Yes.
says, I'm the God who sees. Like I want to hug people. God says, I want to touch you with my spirit. Like I want to touch people. I want to be like,
Yeah.
there are free hugs. There's like an endless source of hugs. And,
Yes.
I mean, there's no refunds on those hugs though.
I love the science. Just talk about the power of proximity. It's such a thing. But the science in a 7-second hug releases oxytocin.
Yeah.
That feel good hormone. Like we are created to be together physically,
Yeah.
not just connect online to be in the same rooms
You know
and
what
do it virtually too. We don't live in the same state, right? So
you know what I'm
it's like the
excited for?
best of both worlds.
Well, I wanna see how tall Amy is. Like, I can look at you here and I'm like, I don't know, she might be like up to my nose, or she might be like, a glamazon and like 6 feet tall.
Here's what people say when they meet me. "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you were short." I'm like, "I'm not sh I don't even feel like I'm short. I'm 5'3" and a half. Franny, how tall are you?
5'7".
You're tall! Okay, I'm so glad to know that. That is hilarious. No, I did not know you were 5'7". So, yes, you probably think I'm short.
Well, it's just funny though, again, like that's what I mean. You wouldn't know that if you didn't see
That's
somebody.
true. That's
The thing that I love about and I have a feeling I've never met you in person to yet, I always say up until now I haven't met you yet. But I feel like you are who you are, right? Like I
yeah,
feel like the Amy that I see here across the screen, the Amy that I see in our group, that in the accelerator program, the Amy that I meet at the summit, like every version of Amy is who Amy is because you're genuine. And I'm not saying that to like, blow smoke or anything like that. Like I really just feel like that. And I feel like when you meet somebody in person, that's my highest compliment when I do retreats or other things and people say like, oh my gosh, you're exactly how you are on
amazing. Yeah,
praise God. Like I don't want to be one person here and then, another person here or like in a
no.
green room. Like I've had the honor of being in green rooms and doing different things. And I'm like, no, like I'm going to treat you the same way I would treat my mother or, whomever.
How is your life, your leadership, your business, how is it different since you've started the Accelerate Her program?
Definitely much more focused. I feel like I have a, tunnel vision towards, the end goal, if you will, right? And so I feel the programs that I've created previously, I'm now like fine-tuning those. Whereas the previous Franny would have been like, well, I'm throwing that out because that didn't work. Well, no, it worked because you had 3 people sign up, but you want to get 10 people to sign up. So that's a lie that 3 people, that didn't
Yeah,
work. How can
yeah.
we perfect it? And so I feel like, you also encouraging like, okay, let's run it 10 times. That was one of your, kind of suggestions to me was like, we'll run that for 10 times and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And so every single time, you can improve it and, see what works and what doesn't. So I think for me that focus and then also, the grit, to be able to say like, I'm going to stick with this 10 times. Like we're in it to win it.
Yeah, yeah, love it, love it. The focus, the clarity from the so with Accelerate Her, you get a one-on-one call with me, and so we mapped out some specificity of your goals. We've simplified the goals because too many goals is overwhelming. And
Mhm.
when you are super clear about the path, your brain's like, okay, let's go do this. How do
Yeah.
we need to make that happen instead of indulging in overwhelm
Mhm.
and chaos and disorder and hey, that's not working. Like you have to have the right strategy.
Mhm.
And just like understanding that higher level approach to the strategy is crucial so you can
Right.
move forward because it is, again, entrepreneurship can be very lonely. And it's
Yes.
just crucial that we put ourselves in a place where we can funnel down, have information funnel down. Who have you become through this process?
I think more of a woman of integrity. I've always said what I mean, but I think now when I say like I'm going to finish this project before the end of this month, like I actually do it. I think much more of a person who, follow through, a woman of integrity, like I'm a woman of my word. I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it. And then also too, I think like you said, more structured and organized because before I would have, 74 things on I'm like, I've got to get this done. I've got to get this done. I'm like, what are my top 3? Like one a week. Like that's it. I'm not focused on I still have the bigger picture in sight, but I'm not focused on, conquering the world and then being like overwhelmed, so I think those are probably the 2 main things.
Okay, good. So it's sounds like that you're really understanding how to number one, what I heard was a woman of integrity, but I would say maybe personal responsibility because you're a woman of integrity, right?
Yes.
It's oftentimes we don't keep the word to ourselves.
Right, and I think that's what it was, like, because then I started to feel like a failure because I was
Yeah.
like, "Well," and I talk about when I work with clients on weight loss, and I'm like, "Look, if you say you're gonna go to the gym and then day after day, week after week, you don't go," that I'm like, it's just like the analogy of a friend. Like, if you and I called you, Amy, to go to coffee, and like after 5 or 6 times, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I can't," or, "Yeah, sorry, I missed it." Like, if every single time, guess what? I'm gonna stop asking you to go to the gym or go and get coffee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like we do the same thing to ourselves, like, where we're like, "Well, that's just who I am. I'm just not gonna even ask anymore."
Yeah.
And you feel defeated by that, it's not a good feeling, I started simplifying, okay, I'm gonna do these 4 things, 1 thing a week. these 4 things, and then I'm gonna be a woman of my word and stay committed to that one thing, if you will. And I think that for me, and I think even in January when we started the program, and I looked at like the quarter and I was like, "Ugh." You look at like 3 months and you're like 90 days and you start to kind of, you get overwhelmed, and you were like brain dump, like all the things you need to do, like just put them all down there. And then I took my little highlighter and I was like, okay, these are the priority for this month. Like I'm not focused on March of Q1. I'm focusing on January. Yes, that will be part of the plan, but today I'm focusing on getting this done. So
Yeah, yeah. So good. I'm so proud of you, truly. And the power of having a system that works and
yeah,
understanding a 90-day cycle and
yeah,
the power of focus you get from number 1, clarity around the one thing to move forward. Number 2, the 90-day urgency that
mhm,
creates this you can get done in 90 days what would normally take a year because you
right,
procrastinate, I'll put it off, I'll get to it. Well, November comes around, it's like, oh, I got to run, 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 run. But if we
right.
apply that same thing to a 90-day cycle, it's incredible, is it not?
And so I feel like oftentimes we wait almost cyclically for these seasons, if you
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
And
yeah.
even though it's only spring, I feel like right now, I do feel like this is a month of acceleration. Obviously, we've got the summit coming up. I've got 2 speaking engagements, 2 book signings. A
Huh.
girlfriend called and said, I want to give you a free trip, a free cruise. So I'm going on a cruise for free after the week of the summit. I get back on Monday and then we leave on Thursday. And I'm like, look at God. So I say all that because I feel like this is a moment of acceleration. I feel like there is some momentum that's building. And you don't have to wait. Like you had mentioned on our call last week, and you said, just because the 90 days, like we're in March, doesn't mean you have to wait. You start your 90 days now. Like
Yeah.
this next 3 months is your 90 days. It doesn't have to be, it's great when it does follow those, the fiscal year, but it doesn't have to. And it's like, I always tell clients, like, why wait until Monday to start your weight loss journey? Like, don't like
Yeah.
start now, start over the next meal.
That's right. That's right. That's so good. That's so good. Okay. Last question. If there's a woman who's thinking about joining the Accelerate Her program 90 days and she wants growth and wants to move forward, maybe she's never made an investment in herself, or she's looking at it going, I don't know if I have time, or she's thinking to herself, I don't know if I've got the money. What would you say if she's on the fence and you know what you know now, the coaching, the system, the strategy, the one-on-one that you get with this program, what would you say to her?
I would say, help my unbelief. She needs to go and pray that prayer. Help my unbelief. Because one, she doesn't believe in herself.
Yeah.
And two, she doesn't believe that God can provide her money or that God will make a way for other things to happen. And I'm not saying that of condemnation. So if you're
No.
getting condemnation right now, sister, if you're listening to this, please know my heart. But I'm giving some real talk like Amy gave me. And I only say that because it comes back to the worthy piece, right? Like, well, am I worthy of
It
investing in
always
myself?
does.
Am I worthy? It always does. He says to them, like, how much longer am I going to have to wait for you to get this? Like, literally, they just saw him perform like miracle after miracle. And he's like, are you kidding me? You just saw me feed 12,000 people over there.
Yeah.
So I say that because I always say your belief in the middle of the word belief is a lie, Lie, right? And it's
Oh, that's so
limitation.
good. I've never just put that together, Franny. That's good.
Well, there's more where that came from. So the L stands for limitation, the
Uh-huh.
I is intimidation, and the E, and you're going to get this at the summit. So you're getting a little precursor, intro. And the E is an excuse. So do you have a belief that's limiting you? Do you have a belief that is intimidating you're afraid of? Or do you have a belief that you're excusing yourself from and you're making up an excuse that you don't want to do it or that you don't feel you can? And it's like, you need to change those beliefs. Help that unbelief, Lord. Help my unbelief.
I am unbelievably excited to extend an invitation to you. It's to the Worthy Woman Summit happening March 19th through the 21st. Now, let me tell you, we had our inaugural event last year, and to say it exceeded expectations from all who attended would be an understatement. Oh my goodness. I can't even. I can't even. I can't even. So let me just tell you just a little bit about it. If you are looking to elevate your health, your life, you're looking for spiritual growth, personal and professional development. If you want to connect with your people, do you know what I mean when I say your people? Like when you go into a room full of women that want this same thing, it's so rare. It's it's so wonderfully refreshing. That's what's going to happen at the Worthy Woman Summit. But let me tell you, the speakers are world class. They are so transformational and they are there to pour into you. And what we have planned, I can't even begin to help you understand how remarkable, incredible, fun all of this is going to be. It's going to be incredible. I will be your host and I'm going to be leading you through a couple of sessions on how to elevate your life with high performance habits and how to grow and to move forward. Honey, you're going to get activated, but you're going to do it with women who love Jesus. Okay, so there's worship, there's fun, there's a little dancing. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. We're going to have a little fun. Like we're going to move. This isn't your typical event. Like this is so much fun. And you're going to learn also about how to elevate and polish up your people skills and your presence so you feel more confident in situations. So this is where you're going to want to be. You listen, I'm just going to tell you right now, go run and grab your ticket to the Worthy Woman Summit. You can go to worthywomansummit.com and grab it, or you can check the show notes. Grab a friend and go. We have women flying in from all over the country, literally. You don't want to miss this event. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing. And fair warning, when you arrive, I might just go and squeeze you like really tight. So if you want to meet your people, proximity matters. Get your cup filled. You deserve this. Get yourself in this room. And I promise you, you will leave changed forever and ever. Amen. In the name of Jesus, go on to the Worthy Woman Summit, worthywomansummit.com, and grab your ticket. There's just a few VIP left. All right. I cannot wait to see you there. And this is Frannie Foltz, everyone. Go follow her. Go get her books. Go get everything. You wanna connect with this one right here, Frannie Foltz. Oh, girl, that's brilliant. I love that. That's good. That's gold.
Well, so
Lie stands for limiting
limiting.
belief, limitation,
Limitations, yep.
a
And that
limit.
could be like yourself or God, right?
That's
Because
true.
God, yeah, it's limitation. You're believing that God is not capable of that. Like
That's
he's God of the
right.
universe. Hello.
I know.
Yep, but
So a
limitation,
limitation, what was the I?
intimidation.
Oh, the spirit of intimidation.
You know how you say like, "Oh yeah, they're better than I am," or "I don't have a degree,"
Yeah,
or "I don't have that
yeah,
training," or "I didn't have my coaching certification." Well,
yeah,
what? Look at God. He called David. Well,
good.
go to the line.
Yeah.
There's a Goliath over there that needs you.
I know that for me, Franny, anytime I've made investments in myself, and when we're talking about an investment for Accelerate Her, you and I've had this conversation. It is a low investment in the business space. It's my trust building offer. It is an
Yeah,
offer for me to bring people in, show them what's possible.
yeah,
And then, of course, I do one-on-one work. Franny does one-on-one work. In the space of abundance, there is no competition. If you need a
amen.
one-on-one coach, come to one of us. What regarding an investment, I just know that when I've made investments in myself, especially in with one-on-ones or masterminds, it hurts. It's always those scarier investments that reaped massive results,
Yeah,
massive fruit. You have a massive buy-in when you
yeah,
do that. So it's powerful what can happen when you believe in yourself, you think you're worthy enough to jump on in
mhm,
and get in the accountability, get in the coaching container,
right,
understand the systems and the strategies that are taught here, along with women that are seeking to please God with our lives.
yeah,
We're moving forward in faith and action. We're not just sitting and praying about it and wondering when, and I'm not good enough and I'm not ready enough. No, 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 no. We're messy action takers. Like we're just
yeah,
going to go. We're going to get
mhm,
started. We're going to stay
mhm.
consistent and we're going to finish strong.
Amen,
Come
amen.
on.
Well, and I always think about how experience oftentimes works against us, and the
Oh,
reason why
yeah.
I say that is because both you and I know, have invested in coaches before that we've spent a lot of money
A
on,
lot,
and
a lot.
like,
Yeah.
I really don't think I got my value from
Yeah.
this. And it's really not a value of the person. It's not a valuation of the person. It's maybe where I was in my heart, like, or my, even my own
The
limiting beliefs.
outcome.
And also too, because my expectations were off, or my own work ethic, towards that program or whatever it is. But oftentimes then we're afraid of taking that next step. So I know
Yeah.
that there might be a woman who's out there who's like, I've been to events before, or I've done, programs like this before. And she's a little bit gun shy of saying, well, this is going to be different. Well, guess
Mhm.
what, sister? You're not the same person you were yesterday, maybe even before listening to this message. Like, I
Yeah, yeah,
hope
yeah.
not,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're constantly, again, Philippians 1:6, you're constantly learning and growing and creating new connections in your brain. And so I think that you have to stop saying, oh, well, the last time I did this, you're not the same person. Amy's not the same person. This program's not the same. The people in the group are not the same. So therefore, don't come with that baggage, if you will. This is going to be just the same, right? Or that, oh yeah, it's just another program or just another coaching program. That's not the case, because you're not the same. Amy's not the same.
yeah,
The whole container, the whole suite, if you will, is not the same. And so you have to
yeah.
come at it with a different perspective.
Yeah. So good, so good, so good. Franny, thank you so much. There's too many good nuggets.
Yeah.
There's a lot of depth to her and to what she has to offer and bring forth into this world, but also to call out of others. So thank you for being on the show today.
Hey, we'll take it.
I tell you what,
I can't wait to see that little, like, I'm gonna hold it. Like, that's one of my dreams was always to be a talk show hostess when I was a little girl. I grew up in the days of Sally Jesse and Phil Donahue and all of this was pre-Oprah, people.
pre
And
Oprah, pre
I would
Oprah.
walk around my house with a spatula, and like literally people would like hit it out of my hand. Like, hit it out of my hand. Can I do something for your audience? Can you
Wait,
see this? It's my inflatable microphone. I keep it in my bag because when I go places, I don't care if I'm on an airplane. I don't care. And I pull it out and I'll blow it up just like I just did.
that is awesome.
But I even shared this with that woman who's out there today, because here's the thing. We live in 26. My dream of being a talk show hostess, I was envisioning like this big, huge, like, studio and lights and, all the things. So it comes back to you reframing what your vision of a talk show looks like.
That's right.
I have a podcast, you know what I mean? Like, I now have a talk show.
Right.
Most of the time I'm talking to myself, but there are people who are listening and I'm getting, feedback and whatever. And so I share
Yes,
that
they're
because
listening.
that woman who's out there who's like, well, I always wanted to do this. Think about it. Just reframe it. Ask God, what is a creative way to look at this? I mean, this I got an Oriental trade, and look at, I just love it.
For those of you that are just listening, she's holding up an inflatable microphone. This is hilarious.
On off button.
There's a fake on off button. That's awesome. But one of the things that the enemy always wants to take from us is our voice.
Amen.
Yeah. Who are you to think that you deserve a microphone? And then even the thought of people swiping the spatula as a child out of your hand, like, no, don't do that. When God placed that dream inside of your heart, God places dreams inside of our heart. And don't give up on your dream. And like she
Amen.
said, she's reframing it. Girl, I could see you on a TV set camera station. So I'm actually going to hold space for that original dream to come
Do you
to
want me to
fruition.
bring this with me? I might just bring it with me. And for those of you who aren't watching this, she has a, what do they call those, Amy? It's a mic, what?
It's custom made, but they
Yeah.
call it a mic flag.
Mm.
So you can Google a mic flag.
So Google mic flag and see what that is.
I do branding. I help businesses brand themselves and get their, oftentimes it's just these little things that
Yeah.
actually make a nice impact. You want your brand congruent with your message, but you want it aesthetically pleasing too.
Right.
So
Oh,
yeah, it's an easy way to brand yourself for a podcast.
to bring out that brand. That's
Yep, yep,
good.
yep. Yep.
Hey, as always, I appreciate you and thank you for having me on today.
Thank you, Franny. Do you have any parting words for our guests? Any words of wisdom or anything that you would like to say to encourage them?
Well, if you're listening to this prior to the Worthy Women Summit, if you don't have your ticket yet, go ahead and get your ticket. I just want to remind you that, like, God sees you. Like, God just loves you. He loves that you're seeking Him. He loves that if you've tuned into this podcast today or you're listening to this, on a whatever platform or whatever, He's just so grateful that He's like, my daughter hungers to know me, because He knows you're a Christian. He knows I'm a Christian. And, the person listening knows that we're Christians. And he's just so excited that you're hungry to know him and hungry to get closer to him through other people. And so he just loves you.
Can't be reminded of that enough. All right, you guys go follow her, Shine with Frannie, and
Like, we
that's
do it together. It's
yeah.
shine with me. We're going to do it together.
I love it. I love it. She is bright. She's a beautiful, bright light. Go follow her on all the things. She has a brand new devotional out called Holy and Hilarious. It's so awesome, so good. You will love it. And thanks again, Frannie, for joining us today. All
You
right,
bet.
you guys, a new episode drops every Tuesday. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this, share, share, share. Sharing is caring, as they say. And tag both Frannie and I, and we will repost you. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. As we wrap up today, I want to remind you of the heartbeat behind this space. Ephesians 4:1 calls us to walk worthy of the calling we have received. And this podcast exists to help you rise into the identity God placed inside of you and to live out the assignment that He has entrusted you to do. My friend, you are needed, you are necessary, and your life carries purpose. If this episode encouraged you, would you please do me a favor and subscribe to the show? Leave a rating and a review, and please share it with a friend who also needs this reminder. And I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am cheering for you. I'm championing you on, and I will see you next week on the Worthy Woman podcast.